Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Admiral Fuller, could you supplement on behalf of Senator Shaheen and me the three charts that she mentioned? They say Chinese influence, Russian influence, and Iranian influence. Can you get back on the record and just do one that says U.S. influence?
The U.S. remains the partner.
No, no. Will you supplement on the record a chart? I'm asking you to do that.
Yes, Senator.
Okay, very good. Let me ask you then, Admiral, about the involvement of the Coast Guard in what you do. I'm also on the Commerce Committee where we have oversight there, and I've grown concerned that the Coast Guard is not sufficiently resourced to conduct its own missions, much less support what seems to be a growing demand for having Coast Guard units supporting DoD missions to Southcom and other AORs. Do I have correct information there? How much do you rely on the Coast Guard, not just to counter drug and illegal fishing missions, but also for theater engagement with us and our allies?
The Coast Guard is a tremendous asset for us, and they are on the field in a meaningful way. They are a top priority for all our partners, building capacity and countering the threats. Despite the pandemic, the national security cutters, the fast response cutters, these are well-manned, well-trained ships making a difference day in, day out, including their aircraft. We couldn't do our mission without the United States Coast Guard. They are our principal source to counter threats in this hemisphere.
Do we have enough ships to meet your theater requirements for the Coast Guard?
We do not have sufficient Coast Guard ships or Navy ships to meet the requirements. We need additional assets and planes. Okay.
And General VanHerk, let's transition then to Northcom. And once again, I have the same interest as Senator Shaheen about the Arctic. I was pleased that the previous administration released an updated strategy for the Arctic, and I'm afraid that we lag behind our peers, particularly Russia. Is that correct? And this year, the Coast Guard begins construction of the first of a new class of icebreakers, the Polar Security Cutter. 6 total ships have been authorized, a vast improvement over the 2 aging ships we have, but a far cry from Russia's fleet of 40. Can you explain why icebreaking capability is so critical, and do you believe it's important to advocate for a larger fleet of Coast Guard cutters and icebreakers?
Senator, yes, thank you. And I agree with your assessment. We are lagging behind. Why it's so important is you have to be on the field to play. It's about persistence. Not only do we need to have access through persistence to break ice to ensure that we can have Coast Guard cutters or potentially Navy destroyers or cruisers in the area, we have to have communications as well for persistence. I'm thankful to the committee for $46 million that got us started with polar communications. North of 65 latitude, it's really tough to communicate. That'll get us an initial start. But I also have a require for fuel north of Dutch Harbor, Alaska, which will also contribute to the persistence of competing in the Arctic. This is about persistence. We're in competition, as I said in my opening statement, and to be competitive with Russia and China, specifically in the Arctic, you have to be part of the, on the field, if you will. And so it's crucial that we do that and continue producing capabilities that will allow us to be in the Arctic.
So fuel capabilities and communications capabilities are not where they ought to be. Last year, the Navy was investigating the possibility of establishing a new base in the Arctic. Have you been involved in any discussions with the Navy regarding establishing a permanent base in the Arctic? And how could a Navy base improve your ability to execute U.S. Arctic strategy?
Senator, to answer your question directly, I have not been involved in any discussions with the Navy. I'm aware of the study that was done for a potential port, specifically with regards to Nome, Alaska, which will get after the requirement for fuel north of Dutch Harbor. That report was completed by the Army Corps of Engineers and submitted for congressional awareness.
Would this be helpful? Yes. Do you have an opinion?
It would be helpful to meet my requirement to have fuel for that persistence to compete with nations that are interested in the Arctic.
Thank you, Senator Wicker. Now